So we began our day with a great meal at McDonald's before heading out into Beijing. Once we got it to Tiananmen Square, I couldn't believe the sights. It was really hot. Minnie's mom had an umbrella, and we just walked around Tiananmen Square and enjoying the scenery of the government buildings off in the distance. There weren't too many people around, but then as you turn around, you look at the Forbidden City and the beautiful Chinese flag guarded by a guard. Minnie didn't let me go for the whole time. Her mom and she insisted she just hold my hand and make sure they didn't lose me in the crowds of Beijing. So here we are at the top of the Forbidden City overlooking Tiananmen Square, and I stopped in to have a look at a souvenir shop, which is where I ended up getting my really cool Mao pen. But this was pretty typical of the souvenir shops. So we headed into the Forbidden City, and as you can see, there were lots of crowds of people and people trying to get a good position for a view. But the places, the buildings were just gorgeous, and Minnie's mom and Minnie were nice at just being patient and waiting while I looked around at all the nice buildings here. As you can see, this is the main square where the emperor would come, and it's beautiful, beautiful white steps. We took a break here, of course, Minnie trying to show me where everything was, and I doing my best to try to make sure I knew where I was. Second day, we went to the Summer Palace, and it was hot again, but we ended up under these beautiful big gates heading up into the Summer Palace, which is where the emperor's wife spent her summers. And this is a view of the terrific lake that was man-made, and I could see hundreds of boats out there where people were heading out to rent a boat. You could take a paddle boat, and there's the bridges with the 17 arches off in the distance. Just a beautiful, beautiful place. And then of course we got tired. I had to rest my feet. We've been walking for so long, and Minnie's uncle was so good at taking all the pictures. That's her uncle there, getting his camera refocused. And then of course Minnie and her mom had sore feet. So we started heading off back through the crowds, and it was really pleasant. People are really friendly, and we just were heading off around the bay. We're getting our picture taken on front of the bay. Of course, the beautiful foliage and the water, and the boats off in the distance paddling away. We stopped for lunch, and I just wanted to show here this terrific meal that they ordered for lunch. The waitresses came in, and we had just a whole circle of different plates of different foods, and it was just so good. And of course, I was the first one to start to eat, and Minnie, of course, had started before me. So it was a terrific lunch that we all really enjoyed. And this was a concrete ship that was used by the Empress that she built as an opera house. She wanted to get a feel like she was on the ocean, and she built this beautiful concrete ship. In the last part of our trip, we had to walk about 2 kilometers into the woods, and then we get to this really cool little kind of lagoon town where the Empress decided to try to replicate the feeling of being in the city of Beijing. And so all these little shops surround this little lagoon, and you could go right down as we walked around, and all the little shops that ended up being around the lagoon. But there was no railing, so you had to be careful. And that kind of ended our day at the Summer Palace. It was just a terrific trip all around. What a great time.